Now the battle for European football. Brighton continue to look strong contenders to make their first appearance in Europe. And what about Aston Villa? They have now emerged as serious contenders to book a place in the top seven, potentially even contest for a Champions League place. Well, how about this? We got a Brighton fan and Seagull's social presenter, Ryan Adsett, and Aston Villa supporter Luke Robinson from UTV Podcast. We're going to chew the fat. This is going to be fun in what could be a thrilling finish to the season. Ryan, let's start with you, shall we? OK, are you in pain at the moment? Do you keep pinching yourself watching Brighton right now?
I've got to be honest, yeah, it's not far from it. Yeah, it's been a mad few years. Obviously, I've supported this club since we were in League One to see our rise, but not so much, not long ago. I mean, in this last sort of couple of years, I mean, obviously we got promoted 5 years ago, but this last year or so since Graham Potter's gone, it's, been a very, very strange situation for everybody at the club, fans included. We're worrying that, everything's going to fall apart, but it's been anything but. And obviously Roberto De Zerbi's been an absolute revelation for us, but I think it's more to do with the everything we've got in place with Tony Bloom and this sort of steady progress that we've made over this short space of time. And every single decision and every replacement decision has been the right one. So I think that this has been foreseeable for quite a long time. As you know, the result last night against Bournemouth was a good one. We don't historically beat them. We haven't beaten them since 2007-08 season, in a double anyway. So it's all very new territory for us at the moment. But I think that Brighton fans, if you asked them a couple of years ago, we've seen it coming in a really weird way. But it's an unbelievable season. And, yeah, dare we say Champions League football.
What a thing that would be. Let's talk to you, Luke. Villa up to 7th in the table. It's 5 wins in 6 games. I was at the bridge on Saturday and the old songs with Alan McAnally and all that lot were being sung. Remarkable to hear. Are you starting to believe they can secure a European place?
Definitely. We've massively been going under the radar. It felt like we were sat in 11th place for about all season, but we've slowly been clawing the gap on the teams that are above us, such as Fulham, Brentford, Liverpool, Chelsea, and now we're in the position in 7th place that would qualify for Europa League Conference. So, it's a massive journey what we've been on so far with Unai Emery. And to be fair, it's only gone in one direction, and that's up. So we're playing really good tactically. Emery's just first class, and the lads are just putting in monster performances, such as winning at Stamford Bridge last night. I was there in the away end. It was absolutely carnage when Traoré scored. So I'm absolutely buzzing with us at the minute.
Yeah. Let's stay with you, Luke, because when Steven Gerrard was in charge, it looked like Villa were in real danger, actually, of getting dragged into relegation battle. Tell me, sort of, in shorthand, what Unai Emery has done to change things.
Tactically, he's first class. He's got a fantastic philosophy, a brilliant way of setting up the team. Collectively, every Villa player is fully on board. And this is the same team that Steven Gerrard had. There's only Alex Moreno that's now at left-back for Aston Villa that's an Unai Emery signing. So I think that speaks volumes. His substitutions are just brilliant. The fan base is just amazing at the minute. And I just think he's a first-class manager, and his record at Arsenal, his win percentage was amazing, and every club he's been at, he's won trophies. So he's a brilliant manager to lead Aston Villa to where they want to go to. I think Villa fans were looking at next season potentially as Europe, but as we've sort of closed the gap on all the teams above us and our fixture list, we've got to play virtually everybody in and around us. I think at this moment in time in the season, it's the business end of the season, and if you're in form at this period of time, then you're only going to get good results, really. So I'd rather be the hunter now rather than the hunted.
Yeah, I mean, those fixtures are incredible. You have sort of direct influence there. It's a shame for you, Luke, that the league didn't start on November the 3rd, because if it had, Villa are 3rd in the table behind Arsenal and Manchester City. So it shows what incredible strides you've made. Does that give you even more hope of qualifying for Europe?
Yeah, it does, because our form's just absolutely amazing. We've only lost one away game, which was to Manchester City. And in the second half of that, we actually played quite good. Ollie Watkins needs massive credit. He needs to have some respect on his name, because he's scoring goals for fun. He's 6 goals away from home in a row now. He's just absolutely amazing. So he's banging form. Douglas Luiz, as you can see, he's just running the show in central midfield. And, Tyrone Mings and Conserve looked the best they've ever looked. And when you've got a World Cup winning goalkeeper in goal as well, the spine of our team at the minute is just absolutely amazing. So I do think we can get Europe this season. I think we're banging form. We're playing well. We've got a great manager. Bring it on.
Yeah. Ryan, let's go to you and balance this up a little bit more, because Brighton never played European football in the club's history. Just put that into context of what it would mean if you could achieve that.
It's funny, I remember being in school and being the only Brighton fan about, and being sort of bantered that we're going to be going down back to League One. It's quite funny how it's all changed. But yes, European football would definitely be on the cards this season. I think that De Zerbi said not too long ago that he would in fact be disappointed if we didn't get it now, and I'd probably agree with him. Obviously, we're a lot more known for our goal scoring now, which was probably one thing that you would have picked up as a Brighton fan, as someone that watches Brighton, as we don't seem to score goals. We play good football. Now we're one of the teams that score one of the most goals. And, full credit goes down to De Zerbi. During his time at Sassuolo, there was a big thing over the goal difference as to where he missed out on European football for himself. And obviously he's taken that now. He said he doesn't stop thinking about that situation. And you can see it, the likes of Solly March, Kaoru Mitoma, two of the most informed players in the league at the moment. And, we could never have even expected that of someone who's come through our academy at Lewis for pretty much free. Kaoru Mitoma, who signed for £2.5 million. This team is unbelievable for the price that we've paid for it. And I think it really does go to show that if you've got the right structure in place and you do think that bit smarter around you, you can beat these big boys with all the money, because, Brighton are literally living proof that we've got Champions League ready players at our disposal. I mean, you see the likes of Leandro Trossard, Ben White, who have moved on to Arsenal, and Cucurella, who's gone to Chelsea for big money. And people rave about them as being, that next level and being very good, particularly Leandro Trossard at Arsenal recently. And when he left here, he wasn't even getting a game because Mitoma was keeping him out of the team. And I think that speaks volumes as to the recruitment and how much has gone into making this team so much stronger as years go on.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, because if you look at the statistics under Graham Potter, and he struggled with the same thing, didn't he, at Chelsea, scoring goals. De Zerbi came in, wanted to score more goals. You mentioned that situation at Sassuolo. It's easy. It's easy to sit there and go, right, we need to score more goals. Sometimes it's a little difficult to implement it. So how has he done that?
I think it's, it's similar to Aston Villa, really. We've got the same players. Nothing's changed. De Zerbi hasn't got his team by any stretch of the imagination. We've got, obviously, Evan Ferguson's come up through the ranks, who's a different machine in front of goal. But equally, we're getting goals from all over the pitch. We're the only team since Opta started doing stats to have every single player get 2 or more goal contributions or shots on goal, something like that in a single game. I mean, it was unbelievable, some of the stats that we're pulling off all over the pitch. So, obviously we've got Alexis McAllister, who won the World Cup and was vital in Argentina's run. But equally, this team now shoots earlier. We've got Julio Enciso get his first goal yesterday, and a great moment for him. But the Enciso that I remember when we first signed him was probably one that would have rushed that shot and probably would have taken it a little bit too early, or maybe taken too many touches as well. I think the overthinking of the players has definitely gone, and big credit goes down to De Zerbi for the mentality shift that he's put into them and to be able to back themselves. Solly March is a fantastic sort of rise in this last year of, a player that was playing at left-back under Graham Potter and probably would never have been associated with even scoring a goal, let alone getting assists and goals, left, right and centre now. He takes shots a lot earlier. He takes shots a lot more confidently. He seems to get a lot more power behind them and doesn't really tend to look like he can't beat his man. These are things that we would probably struggle with, particularly under Potter. This isn't me to come on and slate Graham by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely changed in the mentality shift in this squad, but also of the fans and the people at the club, has been very, very, very different since De Zerbi's arrival.
Yeah, let's get the final word from both of you. Luke, first up. Your dream's Champions League this season, but if you got into the Europa, I think they're almost going to rename it the Emery-Opa League because he's won it so many times, hasn't he? This is going to be fantastic for you.
Yeah, it's his tournament, to be fair, so we're destined to get in it. So, yeah, I think Champions League, I think that would be a massive stretch, in my opinion. I mean, we're only 6 points behind Newcastle, Spurs and United. I think Newcastle have got games in hand, so... But I guess while we're in it, then we've still got an opportunity. But I think from where we were with Gerrard, I'd take Europe. And I just feel like Aston Villa, a massive club, huge fan base, should be playing in European football. And, I've never really seen Villa play in Europe. So I would absolutely love going to, all these different European countries. So hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, and as for you, Ryan, it seems strange to say, but if you didn't get Champions League, would that be a disappointment? You'd settle for the Europa, wouldn't you?
I'd take it. I think, yeah, I'd just about take it. No, it's been mad. Yeah, Champions League is obviously an absolute dream, right? And I think it's mad that I'm even coming on here to say this. The only time that I'll be saying champions is Championship, let alone Champions League. It is mad. But it wouldn't be a disappointment, no, but I think it would be a disappointment if we did miss out on Europa, considering how much hard work has taken to get here. And obviously with everything that's happened, as everybody knows, with the amount of people that we've had left. And, it has been a bit of a difficult change, but the way that we've changed, Europa League would be an absolute dream. But who knows? If we beat Tottenham on Saturday, we've got Newcastle with a game in hand and Manchester United too with a game in hand. Those are the games we've got to play with our games in hand, sorry. I do fancy our chances. I don't think that there's many teams out there that play better football than us, and I don't think that's too bold to say anymore. Obviously you've got your Arsenals and Cities in a different league of their own, but your Chelseas, your Liverpools this season have been struggling, and for that reason, Tottenham as well now starting to struggle too. For that reason, there's a big gap in the market, I think, for clubs like us and like Villa too, to definitely exploit it, because this is the best time that we've had in probably this last 5 years.
Yeah, and enjoy it, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you.